Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals offers a full continuum of care for workers injured on the job. Over 5 months starting in June, 19-year-old Jacob Sulzbach has moved through that continuum as he recovers from a workplace injury.
I was injured in a construction accident. I lost my left arm and use of my left leg, so I came here.
Starting in Madonna's specialty hospital, Jacob was very weak. Weight-bearing restrictions limited his movement, but specialized technology allowed him to still participate in intense therapy while his body healed.
Originally, our goals with Jacob including being independent with what we call basic self-care, so dressing, toileting, and then functional transfer, so his ability to get from one surface to another, and then just doing your day-to-day tasks from a wheelchair level.
As he met and surpassed goals, Jacob transitioned to Madonna's acute rehabilitation unit, where he continued to thrive.
As soon as he got weight-bearing restrictions lifted, he just took off. And then we pretty much met all those goals and had to get creative with new ones. And so at that time, he started learning how to use his prosthesis.
Collaborating with the Hanger Clinic, Madonna's on-site prosthetics partner, allowed Jacob to get custom fit for a prosthetic arm and incorporate it into his therapy.
The Hanger Clinic was definitely a huge part of Jacob's success. We met with them several times. Initially, it was just to do like the basic fitting of the prosthesis, and then they gave him a final one. They walked us through donning and doffing the prosthesis, and then how to use it for basic tasks. They also walked us through different exercises we could do to help strengthen his scapula and his shoulder in order to tolerate wearing the prosthesis.
Also involved in Jacob's care plan was Madonna's Institute for Rehabilitation Science and Engineering, helping him return to his love of video games by 3D printing adaptive controllers.
Any little issues I had with the controller, like, hey, I can't access this, or I think this would be better over here, they would take that feedback and give me a different model that would work better with that feedback. They were really eager to find ways to help me in all different ways of gaming, whether that be keyboard and mouse, or the Switch, or the Xbox. We tried many different things.
As an independent teenager, Jacob was also eager to get back behind the wheel. Madonna's specialized driver retraining program worked with him to identify adaptations for his car to make it safe and accessible.
We just kind of looked at what are your physical deficits that we need to compensate for, and what's driving going to look like, what might be a challenge, what are you going to have to do different than you did in the past. And the main thing we came up with was steering. Then we started thinking about, well, what were all the things your left arm did for the driving task? And it's a lot more than we actually realized. So a lot of times in our vehicles, we have wipers and washers and turn signal and all of those things kind of over on the left side. In order for Jacob to be able to turn on all those secondary functions while he's moving through his environment, we needed an adaptive device. We were able to come up with a spinner knob that allowed 6 different functions to be placed within buttons. It attached to the steering wheel, kind of almost looked like a gaming device. And so that's what he used when he was driving. So it was awesome, all within the touch of a hand. He was able to compensate for all that he needed.
Returning home to Sioux City, Iowa, Jacob is grateful for all the devices that will make his life easier and more independent. He says he's also learned to give himself grace as he's still adjusting to using them.
Definitely the biggest thing I've learned is just to be a lot more patient with myself. Give myself a lot more time to do things compared to how I used to do them before. I learned not to get discouraged with myself and just to persevere through it, and that's just the only way to get stuff done.